Hello, friends. This is Scott, and we're back down at the hobby farm. And this is what I was accomplishing in between shoveling snow over the last several weekends. Now, this is how far I got after my first video on the kitchens. I think it was video 177, where I got to this point. And that took one full weekend to do that, but to this point. But then it took two more weekends to finish this kitchen. And I'm pretty much done except for some touch-ups, and I've got to pull the fridge out and do some painting behind the fridge and miscellaneous things. And I got to wax. But I did order 4 more quarts of chalk paint. I'd started with 2 and used those up really quickly to get as far as I am now. So I think 4 quarts should be enough. Here's the cutting board, and I decided just to paint the front and not do obviously where the food's going to be. So underneath my messy sink. And I just pulled the doors and the cabinet fronts off, and then I painted the inside trim and did a lot of taping, as you see. There's always, doing cabinets is very tedious. I did 3 coats on everything, and so pretty much I just rotated around and just, painted and waited for things to dry and then did another coat. But I got the fronts on a couple of these drawers, as you see in the hardware and the little knobs. And it looks pretty good. So we just kept on swimming and just kept doing more and more, and just would take 4 to 6 of them off at a time, just so I wasn't tripping over everything, and just continued to paint. And again, I like to paint the fronts of the cabinets while they're still on, and then I pull the fronts off, and then I pull the hinges off, and then spray paint those individually. But it just makes it easier. But here's a look at the basic cutlery drawers with the knobs, and they look pretty good. As you see on the right, that's what 1 coat of paint looks like. I did 3 coats, and the first coat, it doesn't look too good, and then I do the second coat, it looks much better, and the third coat's pretty spot on. Now, if you notice that drawer or that door, I put it on backwards, so I had to remove that. So as you see here, it's on right, but I don't know why they did it, but I have a few knobs on cabinet doors, which I don't know why they did it that way, because there should be a handle to match everything else. I didn't notice it at first, but that's the holes in the doors, and that's the hardware that I had, and for whatever reason, they must have had extra of some and ran out of the handles, and so they just used the knobs. But this is how far I got the very first weekend. I didn't paint the inside of the cabinets or the trim all the way around, all the way. So that's what my intent is to do. As I pull the hinges, as you see, that's where the hinges go. So I'll tape all that up and paint that inside little ledge there. And I've got to paint, I did paint as far as I could get when I had the doors on, but then I just got to finish those up too. So it's simple as pulling them off, and I just stuck them on the floor. I've got some garbage bags down. Hopefully it won't scratch them, because the other side, the front side's already been painted 3 coats. There's the hinges. I just used a glossy spray black, and so they turned out pretty good. And then I had to be careful not to paint inside the hinge holes, because then the hinges won't fit and it becomes a problem. So don't ever put paint inside those little holes where the hinges go back. But here's how it looked when I had the bottoms all painted up, and it looks pretty snazzy, I think. Again, don't look at those missing handles in favor of knobs, but if you don't notice it, I guess it looks okay. But looked pretty good. And this is the second weekend of this whole project. And this is as far as I got. Everything with a handle on it is completed. And as you swing back around, I've got 6 more doors that are not painted on the inside, and I haven't put the hardware. So that's what the next trip down is going to be, is to tackle this and then paint the insides of these. So not a ton left, but enough. And then while I was doing these projects, I was shoveling snow, as well as painting doors and bathrooms and other things that I'll add on another video. But I just want to keep this about the 2 kitchen trips that finished up this project. So end of the first week, or the second weekend, and this is the start of the third weekend. First step, pull the doors off, and then I taped up inside, because I didn't want to pull all the shelves out. Just didn't want to get paint on them. But as you see where the hardware and the hinges go in those little round cups, do not put paint in those cups, because your hinges won't fit after you do that. So I learned that the hard way in the first couple cabinets I did, doors. Anyway, that's 1 coat, but I did the insides, and it looks like I did a pretty good job. I'm pleased. with how those turned out. Sometimes when you're getting tired of cabinets, you start getting a little sloppy and trying to rush, and it's good to take them just to quit. When you're tired, just be done, and then come back to it when you have a little more patience. That's probably coat number 2, and then there's those hinges. Now, when you spray paint inside a house, make sure you ventilate. And so I had the doors open. It wasn't warm, but I needed to get some air in here. And there was the snow that I was enjoying every weekend I've been down here pretty much. But there's the first 2 smaller doors I put up above the microwave, and it looks pretty nice. Then I did the 2 on the left. And then the last I had was just the 2 on the right, and got those finished. I'll paint it up, and then here's a look at how it all turned out. Now, I still need to wax, and that's something that I'll do at a later date. I'm not too worried about it, but the kitchen in itself, other than touch-ups where I've had some paint bleed on miscellaneous surfaces, I've got to, I've got it mostly done. And I need to pull the fridge out. Need to figure out where the water line is. Supposedly it's right underneath the floor, but I want to pull the floor out and make sure where it's at, and then unhook it so that I can move the fridge without popping the water line. That's the last thing I need. But I think it looks pretty good. And we're looking at flooring again. The wife found a different color that's, I thought a really dark wood color, it's laminate, but a wood color would be what I'd choose. She showed me a different color that wasn't light, but kind of liked it. So we're going to go see it in person, and then we're going to make a decision. We need about 1,100 square feet upstairs, not counting the stairs going down to the basement. So we'll be making that purchase in the near future, and we'll get started. All I've got left is I've got 4 more doors to paint from the inside of the house, bedroom doors and closet doors, and then we'll be ready for flooring. Well, here's a look at it, and it looks like it turned out pretty good. I'm happy with it. And again, the floor color it's a crucial decision that we got to make, and we'll be doing that in the near future. But well, thanks for watching this video. And if you like following my journey, and I promise I'll get outside again. Next video, I'm in my backyard doing some cleanup. So thanks for watching, and subscribe if you like what you see. Thank you.